before the podcast started. And you guys put this together in like what, 2 months, right?
Like 2.5.
Yeah, 2 months and a bit. Yeah,
That's crazy, bro.
that was
Like,
nuts.
Yeah.
that's what happens when, you know, like the boys text you, yo, let's go on a trip, and
Yeah.
then I'll plan it like the day
Yeah,
of the
exactly.
package.
Like, happened.
Yeah.
You're on the flight the next day. Well, that's kind of what it felt like, to be honest.
Yeah.
At certain points, like because like I said before, we were saying like, oh, like it's June, let's plan something, but it's too late, you know, like
Yeah.
like May, okay, it's far enough you know, away that we can probably do it. And we were actually initially going to be doing like the third week of August, and then so we planned, okay, well, we have a few more weeks, like 3 more weeks on top of that, and then we get an email from the events coordinator saying like, hey, yeah, no, actually we booked that place. I was like, well, no, you told us. Well, no, sorry, it's gone. So now it's July 29th instead of August 19th.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now our whole schedule kind of got kicked up a notch. So
Damn. So how did you guys manage that? Like,
little
You
sleep
gotta
and
make it
lots of
happen.
work.
You've already committed to artists.
Yeah,
No,
you're
no
getting it
turning
done.
back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dom, can I ask you what the first step was when you guys are texting each other back and forth? The first step, okay? You know you have this crazy idea. Is it getting the name? Is it getting the Instagram? I don't know what your process
Yeah.
was. What was the very first actionable step you took?
Well, the first step actually, I mean, like securing like the Instagram title was literally one of the first things we did. But Lucian and I actually, we were going to Toronto. We were just kind of going, like, just visiting one of our friends.
Yeah.
And I got to the airport like a little bit early. I sat down, ordered a beer, and just like bust out the computer and started like chat GPT writing emails to a whole bunch of different people, like looking for sponsors or looking for whatever. So
For what
I
it's
kinda,
worth,
like,
we do personalize all of your
yeah,
we type them with love and compassion, and then we hit send. Yeah.
Control F,
Yeah.
place.
put the prompt in the
Yeah.
chat. It's like, add some
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's not media
For rides that we were interested in going on their podcast.
But yeah, that was like once we kind of had like a structure on, okay, these are kind of like the top 10 most important things that we think, and that list changed vastly from the time we started to where we got. But
course.
like I said, okay, this is kind of like the skeleton, so let's just kind of like start attacking where we think we need to go. And one of the biggest takeaways like for this year that kind of going into next year is like we underestimated how long certain aspects, like food trucks.
Oh my god!
I had no idea. We reached out to somebody for 6 months from now. They're booked already. Like, and we started 2.5 months. Like, we started reaching out to food trucks really like a month and a half before.
Yeah.
We thought that would be enough time.
ample
It
time.
was not.
There's 40 food trucks. I emailed 40 food trucks. I got 40 replies saying, "Hey,
We're full.
we're booked."
Yeah, like we had no idea about some of these things, but like once we kind of had the skeleton laid out, we just kind of started, okay, like artists first, and then see where we can find sponsorships and stuff. So
Domi, what was the first? Oh, sorry, Lucian. What was the first win that you got? So you sent out a bunch of emails. You sent out a lot of things, and there's probably a little delay before you get those emails back.
I like remember the biggest win. Like it was such a good feeling.
Yeah.
So we knew that this was possible. We knew we wanted certain artists and stuff like that, and artists' schedules fill up a year in advance
yeah.
too, like 6 months in advance. Like even artists we're reaching out to for like this year, like they've been booked for a year. So we had this this promo shoot in Kenora, like where we had like the drone walk up to Ontario, like our promo video to like kind of hype everything up. And this was about maybe a month and a week before the actual event, and we had no artists booked. So, but we had feelers out, we had emails, and
well,
like
no, it was like just closer to 2, but yeah,
maybe a month and a half, month and 3 weeks. But we had like no actual artists booked. Okay. But we had like 15 emails back and forth, but we didn't have like any like yes, we're gonna do it. So the day like that we had the promo, like we were all driving to it, kind of like we were thinking, man, we need some artists, like we want like the music to play their music and all this stuff, and then we ended up like getting 2 confirmations of artists that were for sure coming, and like contracts good to go
within 24
like
hours.
within 24 hours, like, and then we had the promo shoot, and it was just like the feeling of the promo shoot and everything, just the whole vibe changed, just because we knew, okay, we like the artists, like they're secured, we have incredible artists, let's party, let's make this video incredible. And the feeling, I remember like just like seeing like the emails, like when I'm walking like to like the boat and stuff like that, and it was just wow, we got it done. So
Was there a moment that you didn't think it was gonna happen?
I knew it would happen. It was a matter of like what artists like you could actually bring. Like we wanted to bring like really good talent, and like we ended up bringing like artists from Brazil, from Austria, like young bombs from Vancouver, all incredible artists. But it kind of like we understood that giving a month and a half to or like 2 months notice,
a lot of the ones we reached out to were full.
We're full. And another thing is, it took like for Young Bombs, for instance, like it was like 15, 20 emails just to like get a confirmation.
Yeah.
And that was like over a 2-week period. So if it was like, oh, sorry, we can't do it, then all of a sudden you need another like 2-week period to like get another artist. So like it just like was, if this doesn't happen, we need to batten down the hatches and really commit to it. So it ended up working out.
It's like a numbers game at the end of the day, eh?
Yeah, 100%.
And then Adam, when did you get involved into this kerfuffle? Of a month out.
Yeah, no, I
just
mean,
booked a guest.
no, I mean, considering we started about 2.5 months out, probably around 2 months,
months,
out,
yeah.
give or take. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where we really got going
Yeah.
with all that. Yeah.
I want to ask Domi why. Why are you doing this?
What?
Why was the reason that you were willing to put this much hours into it? Why were you guys putting so much effort into this
Yeah, well, I mean,
event that, to be honest, hasn't even happened yet?
yeah.
It's not a thing. It's not a thing yet. But you have so much belief in this. Why?
Well, I mean, I generally have I believe in myself. I think that anything that I would kind of like seriously put my mind to, I could do. But it's just, I don't know, like I was going through a like pretty transitional period in my life, and I just wanted to put a lot of time into something. And Lucian and I were both really passionate about the idea. Like, he's like one of my best friends. We've been close friends. We travel together. We do everything together and stuff. So when we started kind of discussing this, I was like, you know what, like let's do it. You know what I mean? And we're both very, very passionate about it, and we're hardworking people, and we kind of know what we need to do. And when we brought Adam on, we knew that would be a great fit as well for that. And we just decided, like, this is our time. Like, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, I've always wanted to kind of take like a step like that. And like you talked about before, like the hardest part really is starting. And I remember, like, even with other things I've wanted to do in the past, I've kind of like thought about it, built like kind of an idea for it, but then if you don't execute it, it just dies, right? And that's like the biggest thing is once we went to a lake party in like beginning of May, and we started telling people about this idea that we had, and everybody's like, well, that sounds really cool. I love the idea. And then after we told like 100 people, like, okay, well, shit, like we kind of have to do it now. You know, like there's no backing out. So, but yeah.
Lucian, did you feel like your backs were against the wall a little bit?
Well, there was certain days where like we had 35 days or 36 days before the event, and we're like, oh, like this, so much time. And then the day would go by and, oh my God, we have 34 days. And it would just go back and forth. But we knew that it had to get done. Like once we told, like I said, once we told everyone, and we knew we could do it too. But once we like had it like confirmed, we like said the tickets are going to be on sale like this day, like sending it all out to everyone, sending the Instagram, like telling people to follow our Instagram, stuff like that. I was like, okay, we're getting this done.
Yeah, because you got a reputation on the line now, right? It's
Yeah.
not just Lakeside, but like this is
Personal,
this is
You
personal,
won't come
like
back
you know.
from it if you like severely flop
Yeah, exactly. And even all the artists get paid if it happens or not.
in advance.
Yeah.
Like there's so many like financial commitments that we like made by contract too. So it's like if we're not putting this on, like
We're
just
screwed.
throw away 40K or something like that for just miscellaneous expenses that we committed to and stuff.
Yeah.
One of the nice things, like, why, like, I really enjoyed having partners through the whole project, because, like, in my mind, I was very much like, okay, this is gonna happen, and we can do this no matter what. But you know, certain times, like, I think there was probably 1 or 2 times ever where, like, you know, it'd be like late nights, we're working really hard, and it'd just be like, did we bite off more than we can chew? I'm not sure. And like in moments like that, it's really, really important. Like we had like, you know, like we talk to Lucian, like, and you know, be like, yeah, he's got that same kind of mentality. Like this is gonna happen. We can do it no matter what. And like in moments like that, it's like super, super critical to have a partner, especially if it's like, you know, I'm swamped with this. I'm overwhelmed with this. Here, somebody, Adam, can you take this? Lucian, can you take this?
Yeah.
Another thing, I think we genuinely loved it. Like
yeah.
like I've never like been happier like checking my email in the morning. Like it was nuts. Like I love music festivals. I love music. Just I love the whole vibe, the whole energy of it in general. And getting an email and like actually putting in a 10-hour day, like being very productive. Like when I had productive days, I probably called Domi like 35 times saying like, hey, we got the porta potties, like they're locked. Like, oh,
And I was excited to hear that.
Yeah. No shit. Yes,
We got the shitters.
Yeah. So stuff like that, and he was so passionate about it too.
Yeah.
And it was so easy to rely on like all of them because we just knew that like we loved doing it, and we knew that we wanted, like, we all had like this very similar vision on what event we wanted to put out. And I think I went on like a brief trip too. Like I was out of town for a little bit, and he picked up slack. Like if he had like stuff he needed,
And
to
I
do,
was
like,
out of town for
I'd
a bit,
pick up
yeah.
the slack. Like Adam would pick up the
Adam
slack.
fucked off to Costa Rica.
And then,
By
by the way,
all of June, by the way. I remember that.
Do not disturb.
We were
Sorry, guys, there's an
oceanfront, not lakefront, but it's okay.
there's an hour time difference.
Yeah.
It's really, this jet lag's getting me.
But no, I think putting on an event like this, like the reason we were able to do it is because before starting the event, we went in with the mindset of we're gonna lose money, you know, and we were okay with that failing aspect. And when you're okay with failing, then it's easier to put on the event. You know, this year it's a different mindset. Yeah.
But like, man, the days where, you know, you're working a regular 8-hour job and then you come in grinding it out till like 2 o'clock in the morning when you just graduated university, right? There's a different mindset that you got to have in terms of like, yo, there's this idea and I believe in it, but like, holy shit, I'm going to make this happen. So like, what was the mentality going into this? It was like talk me about your mindset. Like you could have stopped easily, like, you know, guest didn't, or sorry, I say guest, but like DJ didn't confirm. Okay.
Yeah.
That sucks. Right. But why you keep going?
I mean, we had each other, you know, we had each other that like to lean on.
Teamwork.
A lot of cuddling.
But yeah, I mean, like we had each other, like we kept each other accountable, and like even from the very beginning when we first sat down, it was like, okay, everybody knows that we're on a time crunch, everybody knows that we're busy, like we got to do this, and we're accountable to each other. Like, I mean, we would stay friends kind of no matter what, but like, you know, if I'm entrusting Lucian or Lucian's entrusting me or Adam or, you know, any combination here, like, hey, we need you to get this done. It's like, yeah, like I will get this done because we're accountable to each other.
Yeah.
And
there's certain things like even with like food trucks and stuff like that, you need certain forms into the health unit on a day, and if you don't have it on that day, then
can't happen.
then you can't have the food.
Yeah.
So if like I'm relying on Domi to do that, or if Domi's relying on me and Adam's relying on me to do this sort of thing, and it doesn't get done, then you're just screwed overall. So the accountability of that, and just knowing that Domi's gonna do it, Adam's gonna do it, I'm gonna do it too, and also like putting in those 10 hours, like we said before, Domi mentioned as well. This is like an annual thing. Like I see myself being like 10 years from now still planning this festival and making it super exciting for everyone that like our age, from like 35, 40, like really, like my grandma was there. She was on stage and she's 91 and she went across stage. So
yeah. But I think all in, it just comes into like us being passionate about music festivals in general, right? Like we put on Lakeside because we want to be at Lakeside. Like we want an event.
We made it a
Nora
festival,
that we can go to.
Like every aspect of it, and this goes into like the quality of kind of like trying to make everything top tier. Like we wanted to make this a festival that would be cool, that we would want to go to. And like even at when we our very first meeting, I sat down and I was like, okay guys, I don't give a shit what it costs. CO2, we're gonna have it, and it's gonna be, if it's expensive, great. If it's not expensive, great. But we're having it, and like I want this, I want that, and I want these. Like we want these types of elements to come into it to make it something that we are happy to go to. Like, and you know. That's kind of like one of the biggest things we carried into it. And if we found a way to save $1,000 here, rather than just put that back into the pocket, I would rather invest that now and invest into this to make this like the best possible version of it that we can in this iteration. You know, obviously the next over time we're going to learn, we're going to make it better, but every chance we had to make it better, we invested into that.